So I filmed a little bit about this, and I'm probably going to show you some footage here in a moment. But this is my MSR Hubba Hubba, which was actually one of my first videos that I ever did on the CampGeeks channel. But I thought I'd go over something real quick with you, because this is a video about a tent that I actually haven't really had a whole lot of use with, because I have other tents, and every time I went to go use this one, I decided to use the other one because of whatever we were concentrating on weight or anything like that. So I do have a 3-person tent that I use a lot of times when I'm not worried about weight so much. And so since this is a 2-person tent, but bought this guy about little over 8 years ago, and have only really used it out in the field one time. I loved it that one time I did it, and I love how open it is and how much mesh there is, and it keeps everything very, very breathable. So a summer tent, it's fantastic for a 3-season tent. Very lightweight. It's just a shade over 4 pounds when fully packed up and everything. But MSR is, and this is before MSR took over the tent division with the Hubba Hubba, it used to be Moss Tents, which, for those of you that are tent enthusiasts or backpackers, Moss made a fantastic tent, and it just kind of carried over to the MSR line, and they did a fantastic job with this one. Now, just 2 months ago maybe, I unpacked my Hubba Hubba with actually wanting to do a video for CampGeeks to show some other stuff. And as soon as I pulled it out, the fabric of the actual stuff sack itself, the stuff sack itself was very sticky on the inside. Oh, geez. And I take pride in how well I take care of my gear. But I pulled it out and unrolled the tent and set up the tent. Okay, everything was going fine. This is how far I got, until I pulled the rainfly apart, and it was just as sticky as the bag was. And so then I kind of got worried. Undid the thing, put everything up, so I thought, oh, maybe it did get damp or something and needs to dry out. Wasn't the case. Wasn't drying. So the rainfly is actually the same material as the stuff sack, not only for the tent but also for the poles and the stakes as well. And so I decided to, when I looked at all of them, all the items that were made out of the same fabric had the same stickiness to the interior of the fabric itself, which is the waterproof layer. So that's the layer that actually is where they put the waterproofing to keep everything, repel everything out. And it's very, very lightweight. So I called MSR right away, and I took some photos, and I actually took a video. So if I have that, I'm going to show you that here in a moment. But MSR was right out of the gate, said, hey, it is an ultralight fabric. You got it about 8 years ago, based on what colors I had and everything. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. And so they said, okay, we put an RA number to it, put everything in a box, only the stuff that has a problem. So I sent the rainfly, the tent stake bag, the pole bag, as well as the actual stuff sack itself for the tent, and I sent it off to them with them saying, well, if everything looks good and it looked like you weren't abusing it, you stored it correctly, as long as it wasn't your fault, basically. The life expectancy of the tent, I actually exceeded the technical probably life expectancy of that fabric. And because it's such an ultralight tent, it's an ultralight fabric that doesn't have a long life expectancy like a 6-pound or an 8-pound tent would. So actually that makes sense to me. We're trying to get things as light as possible. They're not going to be as durable. However, MSR stands behind their products as long as it's under the normal use scenario. So I sent everything off, and that's where I left it last time. So I'm going to show you that video real quick. I should have some footage to actually show how the stickiness, so you have an idea at least what I was doing. I wasn't planning technically on doing a review or anything like that, or a video, but let's go ahead and show you that now. So here we are outside with my actual tent itself, and the reason that I'm sending this in is because when I took it out to try it out for the first season, for this season, the material itself has really got broken down, or the waterproofness on the inside here is really sticky. I mean, it just sticks to anything it touches. I set up the tent to see if maybe I just air it out, but where I store it, nothing should be getting wet at all. So it's just the material itself is breaking down over time. Not only the tent, but even all of the bags. So the tent bag itself is sticky, the pole bag as well as the stake bag. Everything is just really like it just got poured with soda on the inside and sticky. Now, what I was told by the reps is that this material, because of how light it is, doesn't have the same life expectancy as like those heavier materials, like the tent body itself. Nothing wrong with the actual tent. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to send the rainfly and all the bags into MSR, and he said as long as everything looks good. Now, I have not been using this tent too heavily. Now you can see here where I have, it's not really mold or anything, it's just a, I don't know, it's just like part of the stickiness of the backs off where the tent was folded in on itself, created a little bit of a white to it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of, actually, as it sits out here and drying, it looks a little funkier. But yeah, we'll send it in MSR and see how it actually comes out. But so far the process, when I called him, he's like, yep, just submit this in and send it in, and we'll see what we can do for you. So thought I'd document it, at least what it looks like. You can see where it's kind of like part of the rain fly or the waterproof material here rubbed off on when it was folded, so you can kind of see where the delineations on the inside are kind of different. But we'll see how it comes out in the end. I just pulled the fly off, and you can see the tent itself looks awesome. The only thing is where the plastic of the tent, the overlay was laying, you can kind of see a little bit of that, oh geez, material from the stickiness of it. It's kind of crazy, but oh well, it is what it is. So that should give you an idea of at least what I had to deal with the stickiness of the fabric. It's kind of hard to show stickiness in a video, but this is the pieces that were original for my tent. Everything that was original, other than the stakes that came with it, is right here. So I also have the ground cloth that I also purchased originally with the tent, and everything looks obviously perfect because I haven't really used it. They, MSR that being, sent me a brand new rainfly. Now the rainfly is not the same color because, well, they don't do that color scheme anymore, but it is the same rainfly. I've never actually put it on the tent until now. So I thought what I'd do is, on video, I'll put it on there. We'll see how it actually fits my old 8-year-old MSR Hubba Hubba with a brand new rainfly, and then I'll show you the rest that they sent me. So I'll probably speed this part of the video up to show you at least how it went on there. I haven't put it on for such a long time that, well, let's see if I actually know how to put it on yet. So let's throw it on here. Well, I mean, aside from the stakes not being out, she looks exactly like she used to. So it still has the Velcro, the zippers obviously work exactly like they used to. If you want to keep one side open like this and have one side curled up, you still have the option to do that with both the guys there. I still have the ability to fold up one side or the other. There's simple clip system. So yeah, I mean, it fits perfectly. Different color, but it fits perfectly. So, I mean, I want to say, I guess maybe the reason I wanted to do this video is MSR stands behind their product. 8 years ago, I bought this guy. And it wasn't for 8 years until I finally realized that there was an issue. I did actually have it out of the bag last year. Yeah, it was early last year. And I never noticed any problem with it. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, they stand behind the product. They also sent me over the tent stake bag, which is brand new, and obviously, I don't know if I'd say that matches, but they did send me over a green stuff sack for the tent itself, which I don't really have an issue with, but because it's free, I didn't pay for it. They sent me over for free, so I can't really say anything bad about it. And then the tents, oh, what did I have? I had the tent stakes out over here somewhere. Through there. Of course, before I throw it in there, same. They did. The nice thing is they did match at least those colors for the stake bag and the pole bag. But that's how MSR's program works. I sent it in. I want to say I had, after I sent it in, it probably took, I think it took 4 days for them to receive it, because I just sent it standard FedEx ground. And then I got an email back probably less than 2 weeks later saying, hey, it's on its way. And then less than a week after that, I had it in my hands. So maybe 3 weeks, maybe that's a long estimate, but within 3 weeks I had a brand new rainfly and everything for my tent. And now I have my best tent I actually own, probably in terms of quality and packability back to use. So just wanted to show you that and show you, and I guess give my feedback to MSR. I want to say thank you to MSR. I really do, because I really appreciate you guys working with me and get me set back up, because I want to do a lot of reviews, especially small products. I want to do it with this tent because this is my favorite tent I own, actually. So unfortunately I haven't used it very frequently yet, but the times I have used it, I loved it. So that said, thanks for watching, guys. And if you have any shout outs to MSR, post those in the comments. Hopefully they'll read it. And subscribe to the channel, let me know. And if you have any future review ideas or product ideas, let me know. I'd love to test them out and show you guys. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.